the younger generation. We've got a better voice than the older generation.
It's, of course, the main man, Virgil van Dijk. This is not my dad's team. This is not Alan Shearer's team. This is our team. I'm 24 years old.
In the next couple of years, I think Salah makes that right wing spot his own. Down that hill, he'll go down as the greatest right winger Premier League history.
Like my mates that don't support Liverpool, they were like, why are they so excited about this guy? These are the players that Jurgen Klopp turns into superstars.
If you put an all-time Liverpool 11 together, Mo Salah's in it. That's good enough for me.
I think he's the perfect Klopp player. He's everything he asks of him and more, the way he fights for the ball, the way he presses, his interchangeability along the front three.
There we go, people. There we have it. The final, well, not the final Young Bucks of the season, but I guess the final one of the season. We'll continue over summer, but welcome. Champions League final, people. Here we are again. Look, everyone else is on holiday, but we have Liverpool and Real Madrid fans still going hard at it. And King just coming in this time tomorrow. We'll know. Is it a treble? I've never seen.
Well, technically, it could be an extra time.
Please, not another one. But yeah, guys, welcome. Smash the like button on your way in. So hello. You may recognize Alex from a few shows, the Euro expert. I'm sure you recognize him not from this show, but many other shows. But Alex, how you doing, mate? How you feeling for the final?
Yeah, I'm good. It's right at the end of the season. It's been such a long period of football now. I think it feels like I've been watching every game every weekend since September 2020 through the Euros through to this season. So I'm really happy, to be honest, we get a couple months off. Hopefully this is a good finale to the season. I also say as well, I went through the whole Euro Football Daily shoot the other day without coughing once, which was a miracle considering my current health this week. So I'm going to try and repeat that feat this tonight as well.
To be honest, mate, yeah, you probably need to go on about a 2-month holiday just from seeing the amount of intensity you put to football every weekend, mate. Hats off. But yeah, if I was a doctor, I'd advise you to just leave it. Generally, just don't even look at transfer rumors. They stress you out more. Ben, how we doing, bro? How we feeling?
Mate, I've not stopped thinking about this for the last 2 days. And every time I think about it, it's starting now. I get goosebumps every time. Without fail. It's like, to be fair, this is normal to us, isn't it? I put a tweet out earlier. This is our third in 5.5 years under Klopp. So the expectation now, this is crazy, but our expectation is to at least make the final. And if you don't make the final, we kind of consider that as a disappointment. So I think that's just, credit to how good we are. But mate, I'm excited, man. When Champions League finals come around, it's like being a kid on Christmas, isn't it? All over again. But yeah, man, this is it. Liverpool, Real Madrid, as you put in the banner, heritage versus heritage. It's as big as it gets. And shout out Harry as well. Big up. Yeah, man, I'm ready for it. I'm ready. How about you, mate? You tell us how you are. You've been in sunny Spain over the last few days, so you getting into the mood.
It actually really helped just leaving the country after last Sunday, because I was on a bit of a downer after last Sunday. I was like, damn, I've got to get myself up for this Champions League final. And I'll be honest, like I feel normal. Maybe it's because I was away from all the intensity and everything, but I am really
Did you still have Twitter?
Did I?
Did you still have Twitter?
I didn't go on it that much.
There you go then. That helps. Yeah, that would have helped.
Yeah,
massively.
It does help. It's just like a bit of a pressure cooker, like a boy, it's like a massive bubble, and as soon as you get out of it, you just go to the real world. I want to shout out Grizz. Thank you. Have a good show, lads. Leaving at 4 a.m, so we're gonna try and sleep, man. Grizz is off to the final, man. If you want to sort the Young Bucks out with some Istanbul final tickets next year, when the Reds inevitably make it, it'll be an absolute pleasure.
Have the best time, mate. Make sure you don't come home upset. I mean, you can't really do anything about that, can you, Grizz? But
No,
yeah,
I mean he's living the dream.
yeah. I mean, what a life.
But yeah, to be honest, I'm now at the stage where like I feel like I've peaked at the right time. Like tomorrow, my whole focus is just going to be to this game. I don't feel
Yeah.
like drained or anything. I feel like right, let's just go fully at it. And I'm
It's
sure
a
the
good
players
point,
are like
you
that.
make, to be fair. Yeah, because the last 2-3 games of the Premier League season, I kind of got to a point where I was feeling like I want this to end now. Like I want the season to end, so we know whether we've won the quad, which everyone was talking about, whether we've won the Champions League, whether we've not won either. I just want it to end now because it's kind of draining just talking about it all the time. Quad, quad, quad. Is it going to happen? So now, we're actually at the pinnacle of our season. Now the excitement's kind of come back for me. You know what I mean? Like before, it kind of, I wouldn't say I got bored or fed up, but I was just having the same conversations every single day about quad, quad, quad. I was playing it down. Others were hyping it up. Champions League, I always said, was our best bet. And here we are. So, yeah, the excitement's back for me. Like, I just feel like when Liverpool play every 3-4 days, it's amazing because, we're in a good spot. But I think at the same time, as fans, it can get a bit jarring, if you get me. But
Yeah,
hey, listen, that's what it's all about, man. When you're at the top, you play football matches. That's just how it goes.
mate, it's intense for us fans. Imagine how it's been for the players, and like it's testament.
Exactly.
It's testament to the players for the last 3-4 months playing 2-3 times a week. Like it's ridiculous. Like it shouldn't happen. I think not just for me and you and every other fan, but for that team to almost have a week off. They're gonna they probably on Monday woke up pretty down. I won't be surprised if Klopp just went to them. All right, Monday, just have the day off. Just don't do anything. Maybe go in and get a massage or something. And then from Tuesday we can slowly build. It's all about momentum, all about peaking at the right time. You don't wanna build yourself up for something and then it comes to Saturday and the final on Saturday, and you feel like you've almost played 90 minutes. So, look, we'll see what happens. I'm sure what will be will be. But we also have the Euro expert in here, and he's wearing his Real Madrid kit, which was definitely not requested to be put on about 2 minutes before stream. But yeah, Alex, I want to know because me and Ben, we're Liverpool guys. We see the Liverpool side, but I want to know what's going on. What do you sense is coming from the Real Madrid camp, and how do you feel that they are preparing or have prepared for it, considering they won the league a few weeks ago? Do you think that's helped them, or do you think because it could have taken the intensity out of them? And I personally am happier that we've had the intense games because we're in that sort of momentum, and we saw how in the 2019 final against Spurs, where our intensity was it wasn't a good game because we were off for 2-3 weeks. So I don't mind us having momentum, but yeah, mate, take it off, take it away.
I think the mood in the Madrid camp is calmness and confidence. I was reading something that Courtois said the other day, actually, where he was saying how Liverpool are a great team with some brilliant players, some of the best in the world, but it was along the lines of Madrid have just had that time off and they just always pull through in the Champions League. And it's hard to doubt that, really. I mean, I've had a motto throughout this tournament now of saying, don't doubt Madrid, because whenever you write them off, they just come straight back. I think it's quite a frightening thing from a Liverpool perspective. Yeah, they wrapped up the league, I think it was in beginning of April, around that time. And yeah, since then, I think they've managed to rest players like Modric and Kroos. Not that they've necessarily needed it, though, because these players have been fantastic, especially Modric this season. I believe he's hit 8 league assists this season, which is his highest since 2008-09 when he was at Dinamo Zagreb. So throughout his entire time Madrid and Tottenham, crazy stuff from Modric. Yeah, I think going into this game, the mood of Madrid camp is going to be expecting to win. It might take them a while to do so, but they'll be expecting to come home with the trophy.
I mean, that's what you expect, really, though, from Real Madrid. It's a club like whatever situation they're in, like we've seen it in the whole run up. You expect them to win. I think like it's just the nature of the club, and it is probably the nature of Liverpool Football Club. Like the caption says, heritage versus heritage. These are two teams that have done it on the big stage time and time again. So not winning a final feels weird. Real Madrid, like, when was the last time they lost a Champions League final? Have they? Well, Alex, that's a stat from you.
I was
Do you-
trying to figure.
Champions League, I don't think. We've not
I was
lost the
trying to
Champions
figure
League.
this out.
It
I
might
don't-
be when we beat them in 81.
Yeah, when it
I
was
was
European
about to
Cup.
say. I think it might be that time. I mean, I'll check it now. Madrid record in European.
They've
finals.
definitely not lost since the rebrand.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's crazy. And what, they've won like 7 or something since the rebrand?
Yeah.
Something silly like that.
So
I think it's the 81 final.
I think it might be, you know, because beat
Paris.
Valencia, beat Juventus. It is. I think that is the they've only lost 3 Champions League finals, and they have been to Liverpool,
God.
Inter, and Benfica. Benfica were the team to stop their big original run in the competition when it started.
Is it written in
Well-
the stars, Omz? Is it written in the stars?
1981, that was in Paris. We're in Paris again. So look,
And we have a Parisian.
and we have a Parisian, yeah. And it was scored by Alan Kennedy, I believe, 1-0. He's a Scottish left back. We have a Scottish left back. So it's there, guys. It's done. Number 7. Well done. Unlucky Benz, you've lost your Ballon d'Or to Sadio Mane. But yeah, Alex, I wanna shout out Nonya. Hope you're doing well, man.
Big up, Nonya.
Nonya, probably, guys. I love the chat, but this guy has been literally.
Grizz Khan royalty, man.
He is royalty. Evening, lads. What does Mr. Euro Expert? I like you said, Mr. there. Very respectful.
Just call me Alex Minonia. It's okay.
Think of who has the advantage after Mbappe saga. So I guess in terms of like situations, the last few weeks, Real Madrid haven't really had football to focus on, but yeah, they've had Mbappe to focus on. Do you think that's taken the wind out of them, or do you think that's sort of motivated them in a really weird sense in the way football tends to do?
So has the advantage gone to basically PSG and Madrid? Is that that's the point you're asking more, right?
I'm asking who has the advantage. It could be. I mean, do Liverpool have? I don't know. I reckon it's
all right. It's all right.
I
wanted to come up with a clever answer. You were gonna say yes, and I was gonna go neither. It's the answer. It's Ligue 1 has had the advantage.
Sorry, I'm overthinking.
Mbappe, so
yes.
That is where I wanted to go, but we'll go in the Liverpool direction in a second. But yeah, quickly, my personal thoughts on that is that's a huge dub for Liga, and they've signed down what will likely be by the end of next year the best player in the world to French football for the next 3 years. And La Liga have missed out on him desperately, and it was against literally every single odds. Like Mbappe has dreamed about going to Madrid since he was a child. There's been more times than reported where he's come close to joining Madrid, like when he was 12, when he was like 16, when he was joining Monaco as well, when he was about to leave Monaco, and then a couple of then with PSG recently. So hilarious that they've not done it. I reckon that it's probably not going to affect Madrid too badly. Like it actually, I don't know, to be fair, because I was about to say that the players have come out quite strongly against him. It kind of shows they don't really care, but at the same time, it kind of does, because they have come out and just kind of put out some very thinly veiled, sort of passive aggressive things about him, like that Benzema sort of thing. So maybe it has given Liverpool an advantage here, but part of me does just think Madrid are big enough to be like, we don't care, we're Real Madrid.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I can't see it affecting them, to be honest. I can see them going, you know what, let's show Mbappe in his hometown that we're whatever. That's what they're probably saying. And look, they're Real Madrid are really like, well, you could argue Real Madrid are probably football's main character in the way they dramatize themselves. So look, each their own, but you're coming up against Jurgen's mentality monsters. So as Nonya says, advantage psychologically for game. I don't know. But Ben, I'm going to keep you there because I also want to ask Alex, and Ben, if you want to chip in and ask him anything else, just about how you see the game panning out, like stylistically, how do you think they're going to match up against each other? Is a team a good fit for another team? So, do Real Madrid fit well playing against Liverpool? Because I've heard that.
I think the game is going to be won or lost down Madrid's left wing / Liverpool's right wing. More because of Mendy and Vinicius Jr. In the Champions League, Mendy has played like almost next to Vinicius, like really high up on that left. And what that usually allows is Vinicius to come in and pin a centre back. So I think there's been a bit of pre-match hype about, who will win in the battle between Vinicius and Trent. And I think what's actually going to happen is it will be Vinicius v a bit Matip, right, in that right centre-back zone, or Khanage.
I think Khanage, yeah.
Yeah, so that's probably where Vinicius will actually be targeting. And it will be between Trent and Mendy to watch each other, because obviously the negative of pushing so high on that left flank is that it gives so much space for Salah and Trent to exploit against Real Madrid. And it was against, I think, Chelsea in the second leg, where Chelsea found quite a few holes in that left area. I remember Mendy getting caught in possession in his own half. I guess the main ones then will probably be... So I think Liverpool have the better attack overall, but I think the best player on the pitch will be Karim Benzema. Partly because Salah's dropped off a little in 2022, and also because the things I've seen Benzema do recently have been unbelievable. So the goals he's scoring, the effect he's had on that team. So I think I can't see Liverpool not conceding, but at the same time, like, I don't think there's been a game this season where I've bet against Liverpool going goalless. Have you even gone goalless this season? When was the last time Liverpool didn't score?
Leicester away when we lost 1-0, I think. Was it?
What was that?
Or was it we didn't score against Inter in the second leg, but we went through. I think that's
I can't actually
it.
remember a game. Yeah, I can't.
We haven't got 0-0. I don't think we've got 0-0. Like 0-0 feels really weird to me, but it's such a normal scoreline. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? So look, yeah, I can honestly see both teams scoring. It just feels like that. Like, even if, like, say we are dominating the game, it's one of those where someone like Benzema just, I don't know, will he score a goal that matters? Maybe he will, maybe he won't. But I can see both teams scoring. I mean, I'll give my prediction later on what I think will happen. But I agree. It's look, if it. Oh no, I mean, we've had 2 cup finals that have been 0-0.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Good point.
I think we're trying to think of Premier League and Champions League.
Yeah.
And they were hardly 0-0s.
Because we won those games, no one remembers the 0-0. Like, you know.
In fairness, slight spoiler, I have got this actually. In fairness, to go down to penalties. So I don't like that. Yeah.
Not again.
I'm not saying it wins yet.
Not another one.
The odds can't be great to win 3 penalty shootouts in a row.
What a treble. That would piss off rival fans so
treble.
much.
The penalty treble. Oh, my God.
Well,
the asthmatic Reds winning the penalty treble.
It's to be fair. Ben, do you have anything to add to that or ask Alex? Because
nah, I mean, is the Euro expert for a reason. I only watch Real Madrid in the Champions League, to be fair. Since they took La Liga off TV, which I don't know why they did, but they did. I've barely paid attention to the league, only in Europe. So, yeah, obviously you see Benzema scoring 15 goals in the Champions League, which is just nuts. But I did see a clip earlier and it just gave me so much confidence. Virgil was talking about Benzema and he says, yeah, obviously people are going to talk about Benzema, but I'm not a bad player myself. That's what Virgil said. And I was like, yeah, you know what? You're right. Look, all due respect to Benzema, he's an incredible player. He's in the best form he's ever been in my opinion. I don't think he's ever been at the stage where he's in contention for Ballon d'Ors. But I feel like Van Dijk has dealt with trickier players than him, if you get me. Like Mbappe, I think people would say would cause more problems than him. Ronaldo, Messi in a sense. But yeah, I mean, Benzema is Benzema. You give him a chance, he scores, which is why I think it's crucial we don't let, as good as Alisson has been at 1v1s this season, I think if Benzema gets a 1v1 tomorrow night, I think it could be a different story. But
it'll be interesting.
Yeah, we have to just try and get someone to stick on him at all times. And if that means you lose a bit from Matip or Van Dijk going forward, then so be it. But we can't allow this man to get into space because it could be costly. But No, I have nothing to add to that. I think there's going to be goals, and we'll see what happens.
I think Alex referred to it earlier. I think there's this sort of idea that it's going to be Vinicius against Trent, Virgil against Benzema. It's going to be all these great matchups. Like, come on, guys. Like, Trent doesn't sit in that right back pocket and go, all right, I'm going to stand here and let Vinicius run at me. Trent probably plays about 20 yards up the pitch, plays inside the pitch. So, like Alex said, he's probably going to be up against the centre back. And it'll be interesting about what Ferland Mendy does, because look, you don't want teams successfully this season have defended against Mo Salah by doubling up against him. That's how you defend against Mo Salah. If you leave Mo Salah 1v1 against someone, it's a big problem. So it'll be interesting to see. Alex, I wanted to ask you, actually, I was going to ask you later, but I'll ask you now about Ferland Mendy, because I know he is a very underrated player and he doesn't get the plaudits, but he seems to have this amazing connection with Vinicius. But I don't really know what he is like as a player, because from what I've seen, I've not seen too much going forward, but I know he's very he's very energetic, and I can see him being a really sort of tough. So if you want to profile him and just say what we can sort of expect from him.
Yeah, I think Ferland Mendy's like, I think he got suffered when he suffered when Romain Molina went on a Twitter space and like called him alleged many criminal allegations against him, which never really got backed up. I think that kind of destroyed his reputation a bit. But
it was a wild night.
Yeah, I don't think anything came off of that, which is such a weird night. As a player, he's brilliant. Like, what makes him special, I think, is just he's quite similar to Marcelo in that he's really good on the ball. Like, he's not like a bombing forward sort of left back. He's someone who's a bit like you just can't get him off the ball. He's a great dribbler and a good passer. Like, I think against PSG where we had like a double roulette on two players, and it was just they completely destroyed both of them, took them out of the game. And so I think that's what kind of makes him special. Was he's quite physical as well. Actually, what he'd have over Marcelo, for example. Marcelo was always a bit shorter, and maybe could suffer a bit more in the air. Mendy is quite stocky. He's quite hard to get off the ball, and he's quite good at getting other people off the ball. So then that's what makes him pretty tough to go 1v1 against. Also really hard to stop defending.
Yeah, I think, you're right. That whole left-hand side is going to be interesting. It also depends on what we do in midfield on the right side of midfield. If it's Henderson or Keita, because those are our two options. I think it'll be Henderson, to be honest. And he normally does a good job in helping Trent down that side. But it's such a hard game to call. Like, I imagine as a neutral, you can go either way. You can say, oh, one team has one sort of strength, and then the other has another sort of set of strengths. Ben, I'm actually going to go on to the midfield now. So Thiago and Fabinho have been, I think they'll be fine. I think Klopp said they look okay. I think that basically means Thiago had his leg about 5 meters above his head in a training picture, so he's clearly flexible enough. So midfield, what are you doing? If I'd say all four, Fab, Thiago, Keita, Hendo, are fit, how are you playing it? Because we do have the 5 subs. Do you sort of plan and maybe bring on Thiago?
Look, I'll just start by saying when you see Thiago get his injury in the last game of the season, it just sent panic alarms straight away. Like, he just breeds confidence in the team for the fans, and I think this game could be won or lost whether he plays. I think that could be a huge factor into this, whether we play at our best or whether we just try and get by kind of thing. And I feel like with Thiago in there, that gives me a lot more confidence that we are going to have a lot of the ball. And when we do have the ball, it's going to be good possession, not just possession for possession's sake. So I'm absolutely delighted that he's looking like he's in contention. And I'd just start him. Even if he's 60, 65, we've got nothing to lose. Like, yes, if he gets a longer injury, it could go into the summer, but this game is huge, and these are the games why we bought Thiago Alcantara to play in, like, the biggest stage of world football. He was a superstar when we signed him, one of the only ready-made superstars we've signed under Klopp. So we have to play him in games like this, in my opinion. Everybody knows my allegiance to Naby Keita. Everybody knows he's one of my favourite football players in the world. But for this game, I would go Fabinho and Henderson. It doesn't even pain me to say it, to be fair. I was going to say it pains me to say it, but it doesn't, because you've got to have your captain in a European Cup final. That's just the rule number one. If your captain's as good as Henderson and he's delivered as many trophies as Henderson has, and just like all the players, you hear what they say about Henderson, I think it would be silly not to play him. Whether you think he's good or not, that's a different debate. But just the experience, the know-how in this team, he's been here for over a decade. You've got to play him in these big finals. And then Fabinho is just Fabinho. Put him in DM. The only other player we've got in the team really that can do that is Henderson. But I'd start them both. And then when Real Madrid like to do their Camavinga sub, I'd bring on Naby Keita then. Cancel it out. But that's what I'd do. But I'd be confident with either. If it was NFT, I'd back it. If it's Fabinho, Hendo, Thiago, again, I'd back it. I just don't want to see certain midfielders playing or starting in this game. I mean, James Milner would be an incredible player to bring on if we're winning the game into the latter stages, because then you'd have him for the pens as well, if, worst case scenario. But, I mean, I'm confident with anyone. If everyone's fit, we've got a really good amount of players to choose from, so I'm not really bothered here.
Ben, you've read Nonya's mind.
Naby, just cancel him out with a player that keeps hitting to him. There we go. Everyone's on this Camavinga hype. He's been, his cameos have been incredible. Absolutely incredible. And he does look like an amazing player. I'm not going to lie. He's a very young player as well. But stuff it. Just bring Naby Keita on. Try reverse it. Like, when you play Uno and you put a reverse card, just see if we can flip it and have the reverse effect. You know what I mean? So that's what I'd do.
Yeah, I mean, Hendo's been so good since the Fabinho injury as well in the six. Like, it's one position where sometimes where you don't notice them, but you just know that they've had a good game. Like, I mean, you sometimes notice Fabinho just absolutely mopping up everything, but like Henderson just kept the ship steady. So you do need your captain. And I do feel like he'd be more effective down that side than Keita. And I feel like if Thiago is a bit 60%, who do you want to bring on for Thiago? You want to bring on Keita. So it's a bit of nip. I mean, Fabinho as well. Like, how fit is he? So
also before his injury, he's not been in great form.
Yeah, his form.
So he needs a big game tomorrow.
Yeah, I mean, he's a big game player though. Like that, I was referred back to that Barcelona game, where he was on a yellow in like the first 10 minutes and just absolutely cleaned up any Barcelona counter attack. I was like but how he didn't like make a foul from that is ridiculous. But yeah, like the Thiago point, just send him flying in, because what was the Diego Costa thing? He took like before the final against Real Madrid when he was at Atletico Madrid, he took like horse, like I don't know, like they like injected like some really weird thing into him, like not. I don't know, but he lost.
Come on, mate. We're already accusing us of using drugs for fitness. We don't want any more accusations before.
Yeah, well, they did something to. I can't remember what it was. If anyone Nonya, this is why Nonya's a goat.
Placenta.
Horse placenta into
really?
him. Yeah. And it was like he pulled his hamstring like a week before, and they did it, and he started the game, and he lost about 30 minutes. There's that famous meme of him just running straight down the tunnel. Like,
who's this?
Diego Costa in like the 2014 Champions League final.
He probably ate the placenta. It's him.
Yeah, probably fair. But yeah, he's a big player for them, so I guess. But yeah, just throw him in, even if they're literally. Well, yeah, I'm not going to say anything because we're Peds FC apparently, so whatever. But Ben, bit of a, I don't know how to take it, because Sadio Mane, he said he was going to have a special announcement for us after the game. But then Klopp's also had that sort of iffy statement where he's gone whatever club he's at. What are your thoughts on him, and like how you think it's going to go, and sort of how you think his mindset is for the final?
Yeah, I mean, first of all, I think it's a disgrace how these stories have gotten out again just before the game. I mean, the same thing happened before, didn't it, when we played Real Madrid? I think they were saying Mane was going to go to Madrid at that point. But, yeah, I think it's absolutely horrendous how the timings come out. Mane maybe it spiraled from them. I don't know, the Spanish press, and then it's gone. I don't know what's happened, but it's just, I think it's disgusting, to be honest. Yeah, I mean, to be fair, when the quotes first came out from Bild and other journalists in Germany, those guys don't usually mess about with those kind of stories.
Yeah.
L'Equipe have cut onto it as well, a couple other places. So it's looking like they all want him. And I did see a tweet. Someone quoted Bild literally 9:30, so an hour or so ago. Bayern are expected to agree personal terms with Sadio Mane after the Champions League final. The club wants to pay around 30 million euros, whilst Liverpool are ready to sell for 50 million euros. It's quite possible that both clubs will end up on a compromise of 40 million euros. So, look, I feel like it probably is for the best if he's going to leave to get rid in the summer, just because at least we have something. If you let him run out his contract, great, we've got him for another year, but where's the plan? Where's the long-term investment? You know what I mean? You don't have anything to put back into the team. We know how our club works by now. We need the money reinvested into the squad. That's just how it is. So for me, I would give him a new deal. Of course, he's one of my favourite players. I am so proud of myself that when the going got tough for Sadio Mane, I stood by him, and I did criticise him, but I did it in the right way. Like, every single player in his team can be criticised when needs be. But some people were saying, Mane out, sell Mane, get rid. It's like, oh my God, these people are spoiled. Like,
I'd sell Mane.
They don't understand. Yeah, but I just feel like there was a big element of disrespect towards him in Spaces. And I know Spaces are just full of people that lack brain cells. And, I go in Spaces as well, but some of the stuff you hear in them, it's just ridiculous. But yeah, with Mane, mate, I mean, look, what's he achieved in 6 years? The Champions League, a Premier League, an FA Cup, a League Cup, Super Cup, Club World Cup. Could potentially be another Champions League in there. If we sell him for 40 million euros, let's just say it's 40, we're kind of making even on him. We haven't made a loss. We haven't made a profit. And we've got all those trophies. We've had Sadio Mane during his peak years. And now we're moving on to somebody else.
Yeah.
Great.
And when he's just about, when he's at the age when a winger would decline. Like, he's just turned 30, right?
Exactly.
So I think Bayern will be making a very short-term move. And you've got, how are you going to make a frontline work next season? Sharing minutes between.
Go up front now.
Sorry?
I think.
Would he not go up front? Because Lewandowski.
Yeah. Go on, Emma.
Yeah, I think.
Go
he's going to be visiting, so. I think Om's connection's on a mad one. Is
it actually?
No, it's good now. It's good. You're
right. All right. Cool.
Yeah.
I think they'd be a 9 as well. To be honest, I think it makes sense for him. I don't know. I don't want to sell him, but like,
me neither.
Reality just says you have to let that Mane, Salah, Firmino. I'd love them to stay forever, but Klopp even said every player's contract is ending next year. Every player there knows what their situation is, so they all know if they're going to re-sign. Pretty sure Salah said he was staying or something.
He'll be here another season, he said. Yeah, he said he'll be here. When he got that award the other day, he said that he'll be on the stage next season as well. So
so look, I think Salah is the one that's going to stay. I think he'll want to keep Firmino in like maybe a more squad role. I can't see him getting rid of 2 of them 3. But yeah, if Mane does go, it's nothing but legendary.
My prediction with that is quite simple. I think we'll sell Mane, unfortunately, this summer. We'll give Salah a new deal, and Bobby will just let him run out his contract, and then he'll leave on a free, because I don't think he'll get an extension because of his age, and he has started getting a few injuries recently as well. The last couple of seasons, he's been getting quite a fair few injuries. And you're not going to make money on him if you sell him. So I think for him, he gives it another season, and then he probably moves on. But look, let's just hope the best thing we can do is Sadio Mane is moving on in the summer, which I think we're all pretty certain it's looking that way now. Let's just see if we can go out with a bang tomorrow night. Like, what a way that would be for him to end his the fairy tale, because it has been a fairy tale. He's been one of the best players I have seen at Liverpool in my lifetime. So if he is to leave in the summer, Sadio, I beg you, score a goal tomorrow, man. That would be the best way possible.
It just feels like if anyone was to score, it'd be him. He was the big first Klopp signing. So Like it almost feels poetic. Like Klumars says, Kumars. It is the end of an era. Look, I think he would tear it up at Bayern. I think he's having his winger stage is sort of over, but at number 9, I still think he has a good 3-4 years at the top. I think it's easier to convert yourself into a 9. I think we've seen so many players do it. Wingers probably don't have as much of a lifespan. Yeah, I just really hope he scores, and he's been our clutch player. He scored so many clutch goals this season. Think about the semi-finals. He scored so many winners this season. So yeah, I do think if he does go though, we do get.
He has a Champions League goal against Madrid as well, by the way.
He does.
Which I know we forget because of the game it was in and what happened, but yeah, he does.
Yeah. Mane stepped up big time in it. He hit the post as well. He carried our front line. And look, he has that dog in him where he can just say, all right, we're up against the odds here. Let me just absolutely carry this team from the front. And just, it'll be simple things like winning fouls high up the pitch just to relieve pressure. But he'll fight for absolutely everything. But yeah, I do think we will try and get a replacement. It feels, I don't know who it'd be, but it wouldn't be anyone big, I imagine. I know we've got Fabio Carvalho in, but I don't think that's a Mane replacement. I mean, there's been Darwin Núñez rumours floating around, who I absolutely love just from the way he played against us. But yeah, we'll see. Alex, do you think he'll be? Do you think it's worth it? Do you think him to Bayern is worth it? And there are rumours of Gnabry potentially being involved in the deal. Do you think Gnabry would fit at Liverpool, or do you think it's more?
I think I'm not sure Mane as a striker at Bayern works, but he could work as just like a forward reinforcement. I think they're just kind of looking to placate to fans because the Bayern fan base is a bit split at the moment over Nagelsmann, and especially over their sporting director. I think it's Haladimic.
I know there's one guy in Bayern who runs Bayern who I'm pretty sure went to prison for like.
Oh no, he's out. He's out of the. I think that's Uli Hoeneß. He's gone now.
Didn't he come back though?
Nah, he came back. I think he's retired, and Oliver Kahn's taken his role. I think he was CEO, and Kahn's the CEO now.
Yeah, Salihamidzic.
Salihamidzic. There we go. Thanks, guys, in the comments. Yes, I think they're trying to placate to the fans a bit. Gnabry to Liverpool, I don't particularly like. He had one very good season, like very, very good season where you like Salah and then the rest have been like good, but like closer to a Willian, like being good, but just don't think he's a Liverpool quality player. If I'm Liverpool, I'm going for Nkunku probably, or Nkunku or Dembele, or I'm saving my money and I'm battling Mbappe to say, you can go to Madrid when you're 30, mate. Come to Liverpool now. Why not?
Yeah. Right, Ben.
Yo.
Midfield. I've just been thinking back to 2018, and I'm not gonna lie, Modric and Kroos took the absolute piss with our midfield. They run us ragged. I think what was our midfield? It was Hendo, Milner, Gini.
That's just awful, isn't it?
I mean, he's like at the time it was like that was the midfield, guess, but like it wasn't like a midfield that could control games. Now we have the likes of Keita, Thiago, Fabinho. I think Hendo's improved in that element. I'd probably say he's the weakest of the four, but he has improved in that element. How do you think? Do you think we now have I wouldn't say firepower, the resources to sort of take it to them in midfield and try and dominate there? Or do you think Modric and Kroos still have that? Because they are, I mean, I don't know what, last season against Chelsea, they looked awful. Like, they couldn't, like, Chelsea absolutely bossed them in midfield, but all of a sudden they've had this sort of second win resurgence. So do you think that we can sort of dictate the game in there, or how do you expect it to go in there?
Yeah, I mean, I said just before, like, Thiago Alcantara for us is the difference maker in that midfield. Obviously, we didn't have Fabinho in that game either, so we didn't really have a natural six. I mean, it was brilliant after the game because obviously we lost, and then like the day or 2 days later, they announced Fabinho, and everyone's like, "Oh, quickly forgot about it." So And, we said about Fabinho's form and that before, but he's an incredible player. He's done so well for us since he's come in. Games have been won and lost through Fabinho, so I feel like he's going to be fine. Henderson, like you said, I think he's got into. I think this season he's had some very rough patches, but I think his best performances have probably been in the six, to be fair. And obviously he's not going to be playing there if he starts tomorrow, so it'll be interesting to see how he plays. I just hope he does have a good game, because if he doesn't, people are just going to come for him, and I don't think that's fair. Then Thiago, it's just, I can't ignore this, like how enormous this is to have him fit for this game.
Yeah, mate.
I would trust Naby anyway if it was Naby playing. If it was Naby, I'd be confident. I don't know if anyone else would, but for me, I'm not an idiot. I know how good Naby is at his role. I would trust him. But Thiago Alcantara, I've said it before, I feel like Steven Gerrard's the only midfielder I've seen better than him at Liverpool. I can't lie to you. There's a couple others. Xabi Alonso, who's a brilliant shout.
We've never had anyone like it. That's the thing. Like, we've never had someone like Thiago.
No, never. So for me, you say about Kroos and Modric. I think Modric is still unbelievable for his age. What is he, like 37? Or is he not that old, is he?
No, 36, I think.
36.
36.
36. So, yeah, for his age, he's still one of the best in the world. He, top 5 centre mids easily in world football. Kroos, from what I've seen from them in the Champions League this season, I don't think he's been great. He's looked very leggy in some games, and a leggy midfielder against us is pretty much what we dream for. So, I'm not too fussed about him. And yeah, look, we just need to, like, when we've got the ball, make sure we keep it, don't do anything stupid. When we've not got the ball, press them, and just try win it back as soon as we can and go again. But I'm excited, man. I think both teams have enough quality in there to harm each other. Like I said before, everyone's on about this Vinicius and Trent debate. Well, this is moving on to a different debate. But what about Luis Diaz versus Carvajal? Because that's what I'm looking forward to. I think, like I say, everyone's got their own strengths in this team. Both incredible sides on papers. Both really good managers, even though one of them didn't do too well across the road from us. But we'll let that one slide. But I'm looking forward to it, man.
Yeah, mate. No, I agree. I think we'll dominate. We dominated City at Wembley, and like City are notoriously the possession team, and that was with Keita and Thiago. Just sort of that first 30 minutes I think we had like close to 60% possession against City.
It was unbelievable, man.
Which is outrageous, to be honest. Guys, before we move on, there's 48 of you. You know what I'm going to ask, please. 48 of you, 48 more likes on this video would be an absolute dream. This is the last show of the season, so if we can smash our like record, if we can get over 100 likes on this video, it'd be so appreciated. Like for good luck, as they say. Alex, I might want to touch on that conversation a bit with you about midfields. How do you think do you think Modric and Kroos still have too much ability on the ball?
I think they're still very good players. I feel they've shown this season, especially Modric, that age isn't really affecting them, and Madrid are covering for their defects anyway, especially if Modric. And someone said in the comments earlier that they're taking off at the right times as well in games, and they've had so much rest. A lot of being an old player is about susceptible to injuries and not being able to play 90-minute games consistently, but they've had a big rest, so I don't think it's going to affect them this time.
Yeah, no, fair. And also, you've
got
Alex,
on that, just a sec. Do you think the rest is an advantage, or do you think it's a disadvantage? Because we've played more minutes, we might be a bit more leggy, but I feel like, do you think the rhythm could come into play for us?
It's hard to say, to be fair. I think there's good arguments for both ends. I'd lean towards the rest. I mean, just because there's been so much football over the last 2 years, I think they'll value having played less games and having had to go full throttle for less amount of games.
it's a Champions League final. That's the thing. Like, you should be able to gear yourself up to the intensity of a Champions League final, no matter how much rest you've had. So you've been out for 2 months. Like, it is the biggest game of the football calendar in terms of like club football. So you'd expect them. I mean, it's Real Madrid. Like, they know what's at stake. Like, it's drilled into them. So, look, I would personally have the rhythm. I think for Liverpool, especially, rhythm works. But then you also have people maybe like Fabinho, who is been out for 3 weeks. So how does that affect him? How does that affect the team? So yeah. And just on the midfield, before we move on, you also have Fabinho against Casemiro, which is I know Casemiro is sort of favoured in the Brazil team, but Fabinho's been sort of getting more game time. Yeah, it's just, I mean, it's international football. Managers have their preference. Like, the whole, I don't take it personally anymore, because like you can't look at international football by picking managers picking the best, objectively best 23 players in the country. They sort of have their own style and pick the players to fit their style. It's the whole same thing with Trent. Like, Trent for me is objectively, I think for everyone, is objectively the best English right back. But then you might want a Kyle Walker in the back three. You might have players like Reece James or Kieran Trippier who play as wing backs. So it is whatever. But yeah, I think that's a sort of maybe. I mean, they're both very similar players. I think Fabinho. I mean, they're credit to Casemiro, incredible defensive midfielder. I think Fabinho maybe on the ball does have a bit more than him. So we'll see how that pans out. But before we get on to score predictions, I'm gonna ask Alex this question first, and I'll ask Ben one. Should Real Madrid win this Champions League, Alex, where do you rank Carlo Ancelotti in terms of greatest managers of all time?
That's a really big question. He's probably he's probably right there up the top, I'd say. Because of the longevity he's had and how many finals he's been in. He's won 3 of the 4 Champions League finals he's been in. The only one he lost was 2005 against you lot, and he redeemed himself 2 years later. I know he didn't do well at Napoli and Everton, and he's by a bit average, but I think he's right at the top of the best managers in the world. So I think he should win this.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. If you look at Ancelotti's thingy as well, his sort of trophy cabinet is actually ridiculous as a player and as a manager. So look, whatever. Here he is, Mr. Hater, Arjun Nanre. Mate, sort your grammar out first. How's you gonna feel when Benzema hits that sweet dagger later on? Man, get out of here. This guy, you can hold those 2 penalty shootout losses. But Ben, Klopp wins a second Champions League with Liverpool. Where do you have him in terms of manager status at Liverpool? Because there's not many that have achieved that much. I mean, you've got like Paisley, Shankly, but where do you have him?
I mean, I can't compare him to those guys because all we know about those guys is what we've researched, videos we've seen, documentaries, what our parents have said or whatever. But for me, from what I've seen, like, he's already the best comfortably. I know the competition's not been too hard. We only really got Rafa Benitez and Gerald Houllier, rest in peace as well, with his little treble that he did. But yeah, I mean, Champions League, if he wins another Champions League, he's equaled Fergie's tally in like 25 less years. So
yeah,
that's a conversation that we'll need to have. Pep's only won it once, right? Pep's only won twice. Okay, so you'll have leveled Pep. Whilst I've been at England, Pep hasn't won one though, so we can have that conversation after spending £1 billion. I just feel like how we do things and how we have built up to this moment is just extraordinary. And I've had my moments where I've doubted the board. I have, and I've said many times I want them out and that we don't do this right, we don't do that right. But I feel like when you give Klopp the tools, and the tools for him aren't a player that costs £100 million from Aston Villa. They're not a striker from Inter Milan that's costing £100 million. It's the right player for his right system. And we've seen it now with Luis Diaz. He's come in and within 5 or 6 months, look, he looks like he's been here for years. We've said it so many times. Every single stream we come on and we talk about how good Luis Diaz has been. So Jurgen Klopp, for me, is a once-in-a-lifetime manager for us. And I feel like we just need to appreciate these moments. And that's exactly why I'm going to the parade on Sunday, even if we lose. Because we have to appreciate these moments. People are so quick to say, oh, it's only a League Cup, FA Cup double. Well, so what? Before Klopp, we didn't have that. Before this team, we didn't have that. Yes, Kenny came in, got us to both the finals. We won one, lost the other. But, like, I think that the whole world now is just kind of had that mindset where if you don't win the Champions League or the Premier League, it's a disaster. And I disagree, but we will have that conversation on another day, depending on what happens. But yeah, I mean, whatever happens tomorrow, I can't love Klopp any more than I already do. He's a great, and he's only 54. He's done literally everything he can in the game. He signed a new long-term deal, which I'm absolutely delighted with, which every Liverpool fan is as well. So yeah, I mean, if he wins it tomorrow, I don't even think that'll be his last Champions League trophy with us. I mean, that's mad to say, but that's what I think. So we'll see, man. But like Alex says, it's going to be tough. It is. Like, these guys are serial UCL winners. So yeah, we'll see what happens.
Yeah, mate. It's football heritage all over. Right. Score predictions. Favorite time of the show. Alex, I know you dropped a little hint there. How's it going, pal?
I said before, I'm thinking it's going to go to penalties because so many games seem to have gone to penalties this season that I think it's become a growing trend. I think it's hard to put anything past between Liverpool and Real Madrid at the moment. I think they're two of the best teams in the world. So it's why I've got it to go to penalties, but I have got Liverpool to win on penalties, personally. I think they've got enough, and I think you've got the experience of penalties to do it. One thing I will say, look, whatever happens, if it doesn't go to penalties, I do want to see Benzema versus Alisson on a penalty shootout, just a penalty rather, because of what he did to Ederson. I want to see if Alisson stays still and goes to predict he'll chip it, or if Benzema just says, no, I'm never doing that again. I'm thumping this in the top corner. So, I think my score prediction was 1-1 and it will go to penalties.
Mate, Liverpool win. That's all that matters. Ben, how are we going?
I'm going a Liverpool 2-1 win. I am saying Mo Salah gets his revenge goal. I think that's the thing that a lot of people have been building up to. He needs it, to be fair, and we need to win this because the amount of stuff he said about this revenge game, if he doesn't score and if we lose, he's in a lot of bother with rival fans. You know how they work, Omz. But yeah, I think Salah will score. And the second goal, I would love it to be Mane. But like I said earlier, I've got a feeling Luis Diaz is going to have a good game against Carvajal. We saw Grealish cut in from that side about 5 times when he came on. He should have scored 2 or 3 goals as well in that time, by the way. And we know Diaz's finishing isn't the best in the world. That's probably an area where he can improve. But I feel like in the big moment at the right time, he will score. And then I think Benzema will get a goal for them. So I'm going 2-1.
Yeah, I mean, immigrant hustle mind. Fair enough for the name. 5-1 to Liverpool. Salah hat trick. Mane and Keita. Made in the great continent of Africa. It would be quite fitting if Salah just turned it on. He looks good as well. He looks really good. Like, he looks happy. He looks relaxed. Like, I haven't you like Salah. He's just since this game was technically announced, he's just been eyes fixed on. Like, I think he would have continued in that FA Cup final if he didn't have his eyes on this game. So look, he looks so happy. He just wants that win so bad. And look, I know people be like, oh, he's gonna get selfish. I don't think he will. He just wants to win. No matter who scores, no matter if it's Matip's off Matip's backside, who cares? 1-0. But Daniel Moran, another regular hater, but my good friend as well.
Who's your support, Omz?
United.
I don't even need to say anything.
Salah in finals is tragic. Yeah, but he scored in our last Champions League final, so the game.
Let's see what
the
your
game.
players are like in the Europa League final. Oh, you might not even get there, to be fair.
I'm gonna say 3-1 Liverpool. I'm gonna say Salah as well will get the revenge goal. I think Benzema will score for them. Then I think Mane will score, and then just for flair reasons, just for storyline, just for intangibles of football, Divock Origi comes off the bench. His final touch in the Liverpool shirt is the third, and he just walks off like it's nothing, because that's what he does when he scores big goals. So yeah, there we go, guys. 3 out of 3 wins predicted here for Liverpool. Hope you enjoyed the show. We're gonna wrap up. I hope you enjoyed the game as well, wherever you're watching, whether it's in Paris, Liverpool. Grizz and Keith on the channel, they're in Paris because you know how those high roller boys work. But yeah, leave a like on the video. Make sure to check out Alex. You know what he is, the Euro expert. He's everywhere. If you type in Euro expert, you'll see him talking about some brand new talent emerging from the Portuguese league or something. Well, he's probably bang on. And yeah, shout out Ben, of course, co-host. It's been a long season. We're all tired, but one last push and the treble's on. And see you all at the parade. So smash the like button. Comment section, been an absolute pleasure. We'll leave it on Nonya because Nonya is the lad. Nice one, lads. And yeah, take care, guys. Have a good one. You know, the younger generation